Hi guys, my name is Adnan Hasbi and welcome to another episode of the Funny Finance Guy. In today's small little episode of Rambling of an Analyst, I'm going to talk a little bit about how I managed to find a trend during this weekend. Okay, this is all real life story and I wanted to share it with you guys as soon as I got this idea. And one of the reasons why is, we should try to catch the market before the waves hit. Okay. So this weekend, what happened was I woke up in the morning. I was really excited. I was planning my day and I wanted to take a shower. I turned on the water and guess what happened? Nothing happened. No water whatsoever. I went to my neighbor's house, asked him whether he had water. He had no water either. So we had to scramble to try to find water. We had to go from apartment to apartment. Wasn't the most wonderful of feelings. But having said that, however, everyone in the household had plans for the weekend, and they wanted to take a little shower, brush their teeth, use the toilet, and whatnot. And I guess a lot of us, without taking a shower, we feel relatively uncomfortable. So what happened was, me being the guy of the household, I needed to try to find water. So when I went to 7-Eleven, tried to get water, they did not have those big bottles whatsoever. So I had to go to another grocery shop and I asked them whether they had water, and their water totally sold out. All the 2-liter bottles or the 1-liter bottles, all of them sold out. They only had the 500-liter water. I went to the next grocery shop, same thing. So after going to 3 or 4 grocery shops, I realized there was no water whatsoever. The demand for bottled water was so high that the whole, I guess, neighborhood, the shop lots in that particular neighborhood which I live at, had no water whatsoever. In fact, so I threw the dice, I tried my luck, I went to a high-end mall, okay? And I went to Jaya Supermarket. I tried to find water. And to my surprise, they had water, but the water they had was about 500-liter bottles. This brand called Avian or Avian. Sorry if I really butchered the name. But what it is the 500 liters cost 7 ringgit. And even that water supply, they did not even have that. I mean, it was running out bit by bit. So last case scenario, I had to rush to NSK. NSK is a big wholesale supermart. So when I went to NSK to find water, I had to line up for maybe an hour. I had to drive to NSK. And I had to bring that big cart. And as I went to the water section, guess what happened? There was no water whatsoever. There was no bottled water. And this is coming from a big mart like NSK. So I went to a high-end mart, no water. I went to the small shops, no water. I went to NSK, no water. So why am I telling you this story of me trying to find water for about 3 or 4 hours of my Saturday morning? Number one, it was very eventful, and I want to kind of share it with you guys. But number two, on a more serious note, is that once this particular event happened, there was a spike in demand for certain products. And since I started out talking about me trying to find water, let's take a guess on what had the highest spike in demand. In case you guys are wondering, I'm sure you guys know the answer already. It was bottled water. So if we were to go to Google, as I mentioned to you, how to do your stock search, type Malaysian bottled water. There'll be a couple of players which comes out, but one of them is Spritzer. Okay, if you Google Spritzer and you look at the stock price before the water shortage, it was 190. And right now, with the water shortage, it is 198. Okay, within a span of 5 days, the stock rose by 5%. So it means that if you put your money in this particular stock, you would have compound your money 1% per day, which is, it's not too bad. It's not like 300% in a couple of months, which I found for the roti canai seller. But still, it goes to show what I've been talking all this while about trying to search for trends which are happening right now. When you find a particular trend, you will notice there is a spike in demand, and when there's a spike in demand, what will happen? Sales will go up, and when sales goes up, that will translate to increased earnings, and that will translate to you shareholders getting an increase in value from your investments. So the point of me shooting this episode today is just to remind all of us that on a daily basis, let's see what is happening in our lives. If we go to a grocery shop, let's see what are the fast-moving items for a particular grocery shop. Could it be gardenia bread? At one time, even gardenia bread was fully sold out. Could it be, I guess, water in this instance? Just just put a keen eye on what is happening around. I'm sure when you ask these particular questions, in fact, before I even shot this particular episode, I asked myself this question: how could I help you guys in terms of understanding trends and trying to spot the trend which is happening? And when I had that particular question, I went throughout my whole weekend, Saturday, and I realized that there was, I guess, a shortage in water, and the demand for bottled water rose quite significantly. So I guess in my last rambling, I talked a little bit about asking the right question. When you ask the right questions, you get the right answer. I guess there is always an opportunity out there. And when I said be cautious of the market, right now the market has still legs to go up, meaning to say I guess the volatility has not hit the market yet. But having said that, however, I think with the US elections coming, normally when one market gets affected, more of the other, I guess, counterparts will also get affected. So that's how the global market works. So having said that, I'm going to tell us and remind us that there is still pockets of opportunities in the market. And as you guys know, I found the, I guess, roti canai seller. And right now we even have bottled water guys. It doesn't have to be like real high-techy stuff. It doesn't have to be a sexy stock. It doesn't have to be something which is cutting edge. It's something where we have to remember that we are investing in businesses. So long as there's an increase in demand, or so long there is a demand for that particular product, the business is still viable. And when that business is viable, you can pay its shareholder, I guess, some rewards. Okay, so remember, I talked about also the emergence of virtual banks, right? That is a long-term story. That is when everyone starts using Boost and Touch and Go, and when Boost and Touch and Go gets more and more popular, and when Boost gets their virtual banking license, and so on and so forth. There is many, I guess, months or years ahead for that. For our intents and purpose, look at what's happening right now and try to invest in that short span of window. There's small windows. Okay, so with that, I just want to tell you guys what I found. The summary, which if we can summarize the whole episodes of me rambling, is this. Number one, look at the trends. And how you can spot trends is ask yourself questions. Go to a grocery shop, see what's the fast-moving items, right? Or if you go to malls, see what items which are very popular at this point in time. After that, Google these particular companies. After you Google these particular companies, figure out the name of the listed entity which holds that particular product. Then go to Bursa Marketplace. Look at what the analysts are saying about that particular stock. whether they have an outperform call, whether they are bullish about a particular stock. From there, you have a little, I guess, sense of the market sentiment. From there, you can make an informed decision to buy. So it's not like, so you have a little on-the-ground research, you also have a feel of the market, and then you make your decision. Okay, so I guess in a nutshell, that's how I found my stock this weekend. And if you look at the stock, it rose 1% per day, which is kind of cool. Just want to share with you guys this. Remember, this small little proverb: if you teach someone how to fish, they can fish forever. So over here, I'm telling you how my thought process is. Hopefully, if you I guess listen to what I have to say, eventually you get my thought process, and eventually even you can find trends. Okay, with that, guys, I would thank you guys for tuning in this particular live episode. I thank the participants on these live episodes, and I thank future viewers for this particular episode. With that, I hope to see you in the next episode. See ya.